So let's make us some hot breakfast cereal with whole grains, and it's a nice quick thing. And we're going to use red quinoa. As we talked about, quinoa is the only whole grain that is a complete protein. It has all the essential amino acids in it. I'm also going to use some millet. It's not only for birds, okay? So here's millet. It's a very digestible grain, high in some B vitamins and fiber. If you want, you could put some brown rice in this, so any kind of whole grain that you'd like to use. And we're going to use just a very simple coffee grinder to grind the grains. And basically you would place your quinoa and your millet in there, and to make one pot of grains you would just need maybe a tablespoon or two of each of these grains, but I like to go ahead and put enough in there to have some of this ground up over time. So you would just place your whole grains in here and run it until it becomes ground up like a flour. So it's sort of like we're making a cream of wheat, only we're not using wheat. So it doesn't take a lot of this grain to make a bowl of the cereal. So about 1 or 2 tablespoons, these are teaspoons here. And we're going to use a pinch of salt. Remember, the salt will bring out the flavor. I like cinnamon in my breakfast cereal, a little bit. And I like walnuts. You could put any kind of nut that you like in here. And some raisins. And we'll put a little fire under here. And now we're cooking again. So stir it up. And you may have to add water as you go. But you'll bring it to basically a boil. And then we're going to lower the heat on it after it boils. So we got a little boil thing going, and I've lowered the heat. And you may have to add water as you go so that you make sure the cereal is cooked all the way. It'll take about 5 minutes or so for it to cook. And actually, I like mine pretty creamy. So I actually add, I don't drink milk, but if you want to add some milk, I'm adding rice stream here. And this will get thick again. Don't worry about it looking thin and soupy now. As you cook it, the water will cook off and this will thicken. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes and this looks done to me. So I will bring it around the corner and let Carole taste it and let her add the sorts of things that she likes on her hot breakfast cereal. Okay. Well, Carole, you ready for a little breakfast cereal? All right. So would you like yours a little bit with a little more milk in it, or?
No, I like that. Good? I like that consistency.
Now you have some choices here. You can choose to add something sweet to it. I usually add a little something. Our videographer, Mike, has bees, and he's got some honey here, so you can't get more local than that. Or you might want to use agave nectar. You could use grade B maple syrup. What would you like?
I want to try a little bit of that honey.
Oh, I don't blame you. Okay. What you all didn't see is a little earlier we stuck our fingers in here. Now this is some ground up flaxseed. Would you like that? I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there. Yeah, and get it to heat up a little bit. And I've got some coconut oil here, unrefined coconut oil. And I wondered if you like to use a little oil, like either butter or coconut oil in this.
Well, let's try the coconut oil.
Okay. So for those of you out there in viewing land, you remember we add a little fat that improves the flavor. So put however much honey and however much coconut oil you like and give it a taste. Of course, we got raisins in there. And
I don't want to go overboard on the sweet.
Well, okay. And let me tell you, I travel a lot, and what I do is I grind up all the cereal grains I want, put it in a bag, throw in some cinnamon. I'll throw in some like sucanat, which is unrefined cane sugar, some raisins, maybe some ground up coconut, and I shake it up, and I take it with me on the road, and I can have a nice whole grain for breakfast even when I'm traveling.
So it's like an instant oatmeal packet,
Yes,
but you make it.
but I make
Okay,
it.
I'm tasting.
Go ahead. It's the real thing.
The coconut in there is amazing.
Oh, good.
It's like having shredded coconut on top of your cereal. And I can taste a little bit of sweet from the honey. And the raisins have already made it a little sweet. And it has perfect creaminess.
Oh,
it's great.
good.
It's great.
Good. And, you know, sometimes people worry about coconut oil. It got demonized back in probably the 70s because it's a saturated fat.
Right.
But is that an okay saturated fat? Do we need some?
It does have some, while it is solid and it is saturated, it has components of very healthy oils.
Okay.
And so in small, moderate amounts, it's actually quite good for health.
Okay. Sounds good to me. So, you know, we have just proven that with whole foods, and here in this case whole grains and nuts and raisins, that you achieve the most important principle of health supportive eating, and that is delicious.
Yes, this is delicious.